my thinking is a mess. And that was very clear to me. Like, you know, one thing that I was able to understand and identify pretty damn quickly in early recovery is that my thinking is the problem.
Okay.
You know, and that I have, you know, I think about things differently. Like I obsess, I assume what others are thinking. Like I'm always, you know, worried about tomorrow or feeling regret over yesterday. Like I'm never actually like experiencing the moment that I'm in, right?
Sure.
And so it was difficult for me to really sort of wrap my mind around that. And one thing that I think really helped me, and again, this is something that I remember being in a meeting and having somebody after the meeting share with me the book "The Power of Now" by Eckhart Tolle.
Okay.
And I had an opportunity to sit down and listen to the audiobook for the entire duration of the book, right? Like, so I listened to it all in one go. Like I was at work, it was a chill day, and I just listened to, like I binged the whole thing. And my mind was blown, you know, like if I highly recommend The Power of Now. If you don't know anything about it, it basically just teaches you how to stay in the present moment, right? Like, or it expresses to you the importance of how precious that is and the reality of that particular moment. Like, and for me, it was just mind blowing. It really allowed me to sort of reel in some of that thinking that can get away from me, you know? And I bring it up now, and I think I'm thinking about it because I recently had the opportunity to dive in again, you know, to listen to it for a second time, and it has a way of sort of grounding me, and when I sort of fix my thoughts into the concept of that book, I find that I'm more apt to communicate in a way that serves me and the people around me in a much more helpful manner, you know. And so for me, it completely blew my mind. Like it was one of those things that just absolutely changed the game for me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, and the thing is that with any of these things, with your concept there and my idea with The Power of Now, like I had to be open to these new concepts and new ideas, right? And it took some time for me to get to that place where I was even willing to entertain. In fact, the only reason why I am even willing to try these things, to listen to books that are suggestions from people, or to flirt with the idea that I can think about God differently, is because of what I've been able to see in the rooms of recovery, or what I've been able to learn in my sobriety.
Yeah.
Like I've been able to, first of all, recognize that I don't know everything.
No.
You know, I got my ass kicked enough to be humble enough to be teachable, right? Like, I know nothing. Please insert your ideas, suggestions here, and I will gladly take them as the way I am currently living my life is completely wrong.
Right.
You know, so I had to be beaten into that desperation enough for me to be open to these things. And that's the thing is like, yes, that was important for me in early recovery, but it's still just as important for me today, right? Like, and that's why we talk about humility quite a bit and just the concept of, you know, like, hey, like humility isn't thinking of myself less or thinking less of myself, it's thinking of myself less, right? And so it's important that I remain humble enough to accept and entertain new thoughts or new ideas that might serve me in a loving and helpful capacity.